I'm going to wait just in case. Hello, Diana. Welcome in. I saw you in, but I didn't want to say anything until I knew I was on. And let me get rid of that nasty hum. Does that sound okay now, Diana? I'm assuming you can hear me. How cold is it up your way tonight? Thank you. Thanks for the sound check. I'm not sure what it is now, but our buddy Mark, it was hey there, Garrett. I just talked to a guy that sounds a lot like you. -8F. Oh well. Hey Mike, welcome in, buddy. He showed me a screenshot from this morning of the little weather station that a friend of his had at his house, and it was this morning it showed -40. I don't know if that was how accurate it was, but that's what it showed. And that was -40F, so I don't know what that'd be in C's. Well, I could find out, but I didn't look it up yet. Good evening, Brenda Sue. I had myself down as a grumpy bear tonight, but I changed it to a ho 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 bear just because I don't know how many people will have. I think Carol's coming in. I know a lot of people. There she is. Speaking of her, there's Miss Carkey herself. -40 is -40. Oh, is it really the same? Or are you just saying cold is cold? I do know there is a spot where they even up. Pardon me, I'm about to sneeze. Sorry. I ain't raised in the park. In case no one knows her by that name, that is our lovely oldest daughter, Jennifer. I don't know what you're talking about now, Jen. You're going to have to tell me. I was going to ask somebody here in a minute. Sorry, Jennifer. I gave your. Oh my goodness! Come up here. Come here. Um, what was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to look that up. Huh? You want to say hi? Say hi to everybody on screen. There's Miss Carol. She's on there, and there's Miss Aunt Jennifer, and Miss Mama's on there. See Brenda on there? That's Mama's name. That's her people name. And there is Mike Cabral and Diana, and who else is on here so far? That might be about it. And Carol says, "Hello, Super Teddy." Look, say smile. Smile for the camera. What's the matter? Hmm? What's the matter? cry on the floor sounded pitiful. Hmm? Oh, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. Yes, you are a good boy. You gonna push my hat off? Okay, so much for the love and affection. And Miss Diana said hi. Everybody wants to say hi to you because you're popular around here. You know that? And everybody knows how smart you are and how affectionate. Merry Christmas, Jen, and happy holidays. It's the same. 40 below is even out point. Well, that's interesting. I think somebody told me that once before, but I just, I've slept. Oh, there, look at you standing up big and proud. Did you know that 40 below centigrade is the same as 40 below Fahrenheit? Did you know that? No? Well, now you do. What's that? He didn't even know there was a centigrade and a Fahrenheit, he said. Yes, Brenda, he's mostly affectionate to me. He's my boy, aren't you? Mm-hmm. You're my boy. Don't you lay down. You're welcome to get up and talk, but okay, where were we at here, guys? I'm sorry I'm spending more time with the cat than I am with you folks. But you can ask Brenda, I do that here too. So, I don't know, maybe somebody in here knows the answer to this, but I was asked about GoFundMe, how GoFundMe works. And I'm not sure I know. Do they charge a fee? I can't remember if they get a percentage. I'm sure they get something because I had some people that were going to give us direct cash or money instead of putting it through them if they were going to take a cut. I know some of you are aware that we've had a sort of an ongoing situation here this week with what we've all come to call our community cat. And our community cat was apparently shot by something. They said a BB, but I've never seen a BB actually penetrate a cat's skin. And this was under the skin. I have to wonder if it wasn't a 22 short or something, or a 22. But anyway, and I've also never seen a BB powerful enough to break a leg, but his femur or humerus, it was front leg. So would that be the humerus? I can't remember the cat. They're very similar to us in that respect, but femur is the rear leg. But anyway, it was shattered, and our neighbors who also feed him and who he goes in their garage sometimes at night. But he goes up and down the street here, and lots of people, give him a snack, and he's a super sweet cat. Yeah, now a pellet gun would do it. I agree, Garrett. A pellet gun, and maybe a pellet gun shooting a BB might penetrate. As bad as his leg was messed up, I tend to believe he got hit by something or kicked or something like that is what I suspect. But anyway, Anyway, they sent us X-rays, but I couldn't open them to look. Anyway, he had surgery today. They had to remove his leg, so his right front leg is gone. And his new name now is Reggie Tripod Stanley. Humorous is the big arm. Yeah, that's what I thought too, Phil. I can't remember if they. Yeah, how do you know that, Philip? Welcome in, by the way. Oh, Brenda says it was a BB for sure. She saw it. You actually saw the BB? Or just the picture of it? Brenda's been over there visiting since he got back from his surgery was today, and Brenda's been over to visit him already. The Stanley's next door. If you remember Sarah and her dad James, who was on the show one night, they've taken him in and they're going to keep him. And no more will he have to be put upon by his former, I don't even know what to call them, owners maybe, because they sure weren't his caretakers. In case you don't know, Phil, that is Jennifer, the Raised in the Parks person. All right, bear with me. I'm gonna censor myself. I'm back. Brenda made me promise not to blow my nose on camera anymore. I could have been like a true country fella and just blew it on the ground like old farmers do around here. Who are the slackers, Brenda? I missed that. Oh, they gave him the BB. Well, they must have been shot out of a pellet rifle or something, because I've never seen everything I ever shot with a BB as a kid bounced off. That would be good. They should be banned. They should never have had anything. Obviously, I don't know them. It's probably a good thing I don't know who they are. The way we know that is that when Reggie first showed up, he was and we'll call him Reggie now. We used to call him Charlie. Brenda named him Charlie. And when we first she first mentioned him to Julie next door, Sarah's mom, we found out that he'd been coming to their house for a while longer than he'd been coming to ours. And they were calling him Reggie, so we just started calling him Reggie. And about every time we'd come home from somewhere, he would run up here in the driveway and hang around till I parked the car, and then we'd give him a handful of dry food or something, and he'd eat it, and then he'd go on about his business. And then we found out he does that all up and down the street on in our subdivision. Well, the Stanleys took him to the vet one time, and they scanned him, and lo and behold, Reggie had an owner and a name, and he was tagged. He had a pit tag in his between his shoulder blades, and so then we knew who he belonged to. So they took him home. They thought maybe he was out and lost, and so they took him home. Well, within probably that same afternoon, then he was back down here living. They'd already kicked him back out or whatever and turned him loose, and he was down here. So he hung around out down here for the next, I don't know, maybe a year. And then the other day he showed up crippled. So Stanley's found him, and he was just dragging a floppy arm around or front leg, and they took him to the vet and found out that the vets wouldn't touch him because technically he belonged to someone else because of the tag. They knew who he belonged to, so they wouldn't do anything for him until that owner would have to either take responsibility or not, whichever. So he was given back to them, and within a couple of days, he had limped on a broken leg back down here to their house and was back in our neighborhood again. I guess you could say they were so bad that he walked all the way back to here, which was, I don't know, it could be a mile or more back to here because he didn't want to live with them, and he was dragging a broken leg the whole time. So they found out that there's a way to circumvent that ownership situation, and he is now the Stanleys now have a beautiful little cat that's a tripod. So they were able to, decide that they couldn't bear to not have surgery. So the Stanleys did not take him. Somebody else did. They know the Stanleys. Oh, okay. So somebody else has him, Brenda. Okay, I guess that's probably a good reason. Anyway, he's going to heal up now, and because the community is paying for it, that's why I started the GoFundMe page. And yeah, really, Carol. I mean, he came all the way back down here because there were people down here that actually cared for him, and obviously they didn't. And and for half quarter redneck like me and a hillbilly, I'd like to go up there and maybe gimp them up and make them walk home a mile with a broken leg. But they frown on things like that and genteel civilization, so I probably wouldn't be allowed to do that. If a cat or animal stays at your house for 3 days, you can claim ownership. That is a new Tennessee law. Well, that's good to know. Anyway, if anybody's ever watched Dr. Pole on TV, Dr. Pole has amputated several cats' legs over the years, and probably dogs too. But they have a cat. He has a cat named Tater that lives with them at the vet clinic that Dr. Pole runs, and he's been running around on 3 legs for years now and gets along just fine. I can get that for you, Mike. Not that I'm not. Honestly, I feel bad. I don't mean to come up. Hang on a minute. What have I done here? I guess nothing. I hate to come on here and make it sound like I'm begging for money, but it's not entirely true. I have to sign in. Bear with me a minute, guys. If somebody gets this in there before I get it to Mike, I'll just go ahead and do it anyway because I'm slow. Oh, well, now they're going to send me a code. Dang it. Oh, wrong thing. Nothing up my sleeve. Okay. Oh, you got it. So did you put it up there, Jen? Or no, I bet it won't let you put it in there, will it? Well, I haven't. At least I think I haven't. I think this will do it. See if that does it, Mike, and let me know if it does or not. And Jen, it might not let you. Oh, well, there it is. I can still send it to you through Instagram, Mike, if you don't want to copy it from here. But that should work. You should be able to just click on that. And I'm not going to do it because it might work for me and not for you. So I'd rather you tried it. Well, Diana, I'm not really. I'm not really the kind to ask for that kind of help. I usually don't. I probably wouldn't ask for myself, at least not in this way. But this guy came along and needed the folks that are taking care of him now and didn't really have the money, and we made a donation, but we didn't have enough on hand at the time to cover the whole thing, and we wanted to spread it around a little bit. And people had mentioned the other day that they might be interested, so I decided to put it out there and just see what happens. And what we'll get, what we get, and it'll help, and we'll take care of the rest between us and the Stanleys. And I think some of the other neighbors on the street are going to give some money too. We'll get to. Hey, Laurie Jean Carlson, welcome in, and we will do that. Oh, well, good for you, Gino. How'd you know? I'm not even going to ask how you knew to send it to Mike. You're probably way ahead of me on that sort of thing. So I guess Jennifer's getting ready. We're going to all go over to her house Saturday night and do Christmas. I got a text. Let me see what's going on. Okay. Yeah, they had to pay the whole bill tonight, so we'll have to get them some money. But again, that's not to put pressure on anybody here. We've got everybody who's given money already has been quite generous, and you guys don't even know Reggie, so he is a sweet cat, though. He's a good boy, considering what he's been through lately. Once they got him settled at home, they gave him some pain meds apparently the other day when they got him scheduled for surgery. And so he was, kind of laying around the house, sort of dazed and having a good time, purring big and loud. Even with a broken leg, so he must have felt pretty good. Anyway, anybody else got? This is going to be a short show for one of my shows, and it's going to be just kind of a off the shoulder, off the cuff, whatever kind of thing, because I haven't felt very good for a couple of days, but I did not want to not be here. For one thing, I promised everybody last week I would be here, but I didn't come in with a set topic of discussion. There are things going on around the country that are probably worth talking about. We had a visitor from Ukraine in the country yesterday. I thought it was a pretty big deal. I thought about that a lot, and I thought, wow, what a chance he's probably taken to leave the country at a moment when his closest and worst enemy could just, try to make a mad dash for the capital and take over. Okay, guys, I'm feeling a little funky, so I got to eat a cracker. Yeah, me too, Mike. And I'll be honest with you, I hope he got around to shake hands of everybody who was there, especially some of the ones that aren't so sure they want to give him more money, because I think that would serve them right. I mean, look them in the eye and all that. All right, Jen, see you later. Thanks for coming in, babe. Yeah, Jen, you guys are welcome in anytime. Another thing is going on around the country. It's pretty rough, right? Not just this country, I guess, in other countries around the world. And that's all the flu and RSV and COVID that's coming back. I'm not gonna. We just talked to hell, I'll say it. Mark had a young child at his house the other day that was not feeling good, had an ear infection, and when they took him to the doctor to get checked out, he had an ear infection, bronchitis, and COVID. So hopefully that won't. I wasn't starting on politics. I just talked about President Zelensky. I was going to ask about that, Diane. I wasn't sure. I thought so. Shaft? What you talking about? Oh, I can't remember how that goes now, Phil. It's been too long. No, got crackers in my beard. Hang on a minute. Got to blow my nose again. I'm muted. I'm muted. How bad is it hitting schools up there, Carol? I'm just talking about Shaft. I agree, Phil. Well, you think about it for a minute. He's standing up to one of the biggest supervillains in the world, left in the world, and so far they're holding them at bay. How long do they get out up there, Mike? Wow. 60%, Diana. Wow, that's more than just a little significant. I don't care whose statistics you're using. One can only hope that that time away will help some, but then again, they're going to be around family, so who knows? I wonder I'm going to say this and then I'm probably going to regret it. I wonder how much infighting there is in Canada about COVID policies versus here. Yeah, Carol, that's a lot. Ah, Dean, welcome, guys. I apologize for eating. I was feeling kind of bad, so I needed to eat a cracker. Bear with me. Mike, I'm trying to pretend like this is a marble icing flavored donut, but it's not working. Pretty good though, I have to admit. Okay, Phil. Well, that kind of makes sense. It sort of depends on the state down here. Crackers don't cut it. Not compared to a good donut, no. I'm glad you understand, Mike. Okay, Dean, I'm going to try. I got next one I eat. I'm going to pretend real hard. Well, I tell you what, they've got salt on them, so maybe I can pretend like they're salted caramel. I'm going to give that a try, Dean. Oh, mercy. Phil, I guess you're home for the. Are you going anywhere for Christmas? You know, I just realized you're not going to Florida because nobody lives in Florida anymore. Oh, Phil. Oh, brother, I don't. I've wanted to try that in my lifetime, but I can't. I just can't get it past. I can't get past the smell. I'll be honest. I've always looked up to you for your ability to eat sardines. I just hadn't been able to do that. Well, that's not near as far away as Florida, though, so that's a good thing, I guess. Although is Sunday the day here? It's only supposed to be 13. Now you guys are. I know, Carol. You guys are probably going to be cold. Dean, Mike, and Diana are probably going to be colder than Whiz. Dean might be in the 60s or 50s. I think we're supposed to be down around 13 this weekend, but I'm not sure if that was Sunday or between now and then. Oh well, I'd stay away from there then, if that's the case. Here's what you do, Phil. Invite them down here for Christmas dinner and tell them that you're paying and that you're going to take everybody to the German house to eat dinner. He won't come. Oh, Dean, upper 40s, huh? That's the highs. Well, it will be chilly in Florida, I'll have to admit. Not cold per se, but cool. Dean, you weren't in here earlier. I don't know if I can pull these up or not. I have a picture on my phone that Mark, my buddy Mark in Wyoming, sent me, and the little home weather station that one of his buddies had, and sent him, I guess, sent him a picture of it this morning. Said -40. Yeah, you heard me right, -40. Oh well, that won't work then, Phil. You found your long johns. Well, you might be standing in that. Well, I don't know if you are or not, though. I'm gonna say if you're standing in the window of the Wendy's, it might be pretty chilly. The wind be blowing. John, welcome in, John. Ho 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 to you too, buddy. Good to see you. That's why I hesitated, Dean. I was thinking maybe that was the case, that you would not be. I think their food's pretty good, Mike. The problem has always been they're a small, I guess, family-run place, and it's probably more of a German food mentality. They don't rush things like we do here. So sometimes you had to wait a while to actually get your food, but it gave you time to talk and enjoy your appetizers or whatever, and have a drink or two. And but sometimes the wait could take a while. They had a small kitchen. John, did you hear what I said about Wyoming? Mark sent me a thing a while ago or from this morning. He took the picture this morning, and or somebody sent him the picture this morning. It showed -40 degrees up there. I'm not sure where the buddy was that sent him the picture. I'm not sure what part of Wyoming, but still, somewhere nearby was -40. I talked to Mark a day or two ago and asked him what the temperature was then, and he said he wasn't sure at that time. It's way below freezing. Out of coffee water. Okay, guys, one more time. Okay, John, if it's not a matter of national security, I have a question. No, it's just coffee, Phil. I don't have any Maker's Mark or anything in there right now, although it's a good possibility I'll have some in there in a little bit. That's I hadn't got there yet. The way I feel though, it'd probably make me feel better. Oh, I bet it is, John. What's the shoe? Oh, I'm gonna guess that's talking about what's in my cup. No, what reason I was going to ask John was, are the silo were the inside of the silos heated? The reason I ask is because when Phil and I worked in Nashville, we had our hangars weren't heated very well, and we worked out. I worked outside a lot. He got to work in the office some more, but he had to come out and inspect things on the floor, and sometimes we had to work outside when the wind was blowing and across the airport, 30 miles an hour, and that meant it was colder and cold. And one year on a Sunday when I was working weekends, it was actually the high for the day here in Nashville, Tennessee was minus 12 Fahrenheit. And that's the warmest it got all day long. And we had to work out on that. And it's almost impossible to hold a wrench at minus 12. So I can't imagine holding a wrench at minus 40 wind chill or otherwise. So that's why I'm asking. I was wondering if it was heated inside those stacks, those silos, or if you just had to hopefully not have to go out in one when it was that kind of weather. And if you can't tell that without killing all of us, then just keep it to yourself. Yes, they were, Bill. I can't remember, but you on weekends when that happened? No, but the electronics are warm. They even need a coolant called. So even with temperatures like that, they had to be cooled. Is that what you're saying, or just when it was hot weather? Because I can imagine that stuff does get warm, especially then. Because I don't know, stuff back then, it wouldn't have been tubes, obviously, but chromate. Huh. Yeah, the last thing I remember that day, we were walking out to go home, and I heard something pop, and walked back in the hangar, and the water cooler, the drink water fountain in the middle of the building had just burst a pipe and was going all over the floor. I guess if we hadn't caught it, if it had burst 10 minutes later, we probably would have come into a skating rink the next morning. Everyone who wants to work is here. Yeah, that was one of his favorite sayings. I hate you still have that problem, John. That's but I understand that. I knew a couple of older men when I was much younger, when I was in Boy Scouts, that had been through the military and had been in some really cold weather. I don't know if it was in World War II, but I knew some World War II vets, or if it could have been Korea, but they didn't. Cold weather really gave them a hard time on their feet, probably their hands too, but it definitely caused them issues with their feet. That's close enough, John. I guess if I was, I guess if, how do I want to say that? I guess if we were standing on this end and missiles were coming this way, we'd want we'd want to make sure they were working, whether it took a heater or a coolant. I hate to say that though. Oh, what time is it? Okay, 7:46, guys. I'm gonna about 15 more minutes, and I'm probably gonna call it a night. I'm not feeling that great. I'm gonna be on Saturday for a while, I hope, and kick around some Christmas Eve kind of talk and things of that nature, and probably not have a set topic. What's the matter? Huh? Did I startle you or something? I bumped him and he turned over and gave me a really ugly, dirty look. It's okay though, he's right back to sleep. No kitty abuse here. Oh, what are you having with that, John? I bet those are good. Somehow I have a feeling that you probably do a good job in the kitchen with stuff like that. John or Phil, you probably don't know John, but I mean, I don't know if you've been in there when he was here before, but oh, maybe you do. Well, John, these days, John lives in New Jersey. He's retired from the. Uh, he was one of Dale's compatriots at one time, and he does a lot of fishing up in that area and clam digging and things like that. Oh, okay. Good. I couldn't remember if I had or not, Phil. You know what the saying goes, I don't remember you know, where I went last. And I can't breathe. It stopped up. Okay. I got an update on cost for Reggie, but I'm not going to talk about that here. Maybe Little Rock, he had a pic on his desk of him and his compadre with their hands on the keys and a big uh-oh. Could you tell him that's really nothing to joke about? I still think it would be a. Well, thank you, my dear. That's very sweet of you to say that. She's only saying that because you guys are in here. Otherwise, she'd be telling me I was on my own or something. Not true, but I get her riled up by saying so. So would a guy like that, John, would he? So a guy like that, would he not be based in the silo too, or are they actually off somewhere else so they're not, all their eggs aren't in one basket? If I can ask. You want me to stop? You want to come up and say Merry Christmas to everybody before we go? Huh? No? No? No, 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 no. That is definitely a no to me. About caught the wrath of Teddy there. He really didn't want to get up right now. Well, guys, I'm going to shut her down for tonight. I think I'm hurting a bit and I'm starting to feel bad. So I'm going to get off here. And I'll be here Saturday morning for a while. I hope that, seems like I read where somebody dropped a wrench and the misleading and the miss exploded in the silo. I remember hearing somebody talk about dropping a big old wrench in a silo one time, but I don't know if that blew up or not. Yeah, that's right, guys. Tomorrow is mine and Brenda's 45th anniversary, the 23rd of December, and I hadn't really forgot about it, but I hadn't thought about it since earlier today. Titans had their own launch facility per missile. Minutemen missiles launch facilities launched 10 in a flight. Oh, in a flight or 50 in a squadron. Wow, I didn't know that. John, that's interesting. How did that work, John? You're going to have to explain that to me someday. I mean, did they all come out of the same, like a group of silos in a given area, or were they just all? How did that work? Maybe you can't talk about that. I don't know. I don't want to get you in trouble. And thank everybody for that. I'll tell Brenda if she's off here that you guys all passed along your well wishes. If I knew she wasn't on here, I'd say something bad about her, but I won't. Well, thank you, Phil. All right, everybody, have a great night. What's left of it, and hopefully I'll see some of you on Saturday morning, at least for a while. Hopefully I'll feel better. I hope I do. I don't know. I think I will. I think I've just got rheumacy, gloomacy, or something here. You know, my nose is stopped up right now, and I had a headache earlier, but I don't know. That could just be weather changes. But anyway, everybody have a great night. Thank you all for coming in, and don't forget that that Dean's going to be on in just a little while, and the Monarchs are going to be on tonight. I think about 7 o'clock Eastern. No, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock their time, and they're going on a train ride, so that ought to be fun. And Phil, before you go, I'm not sure if this is true. The place they're going to ride the train tonight also has, well, they have a diesel unit, which may be what they're taking tonight, but they've also got a Shay, I think a Climax, and one of the other gear-driven trains that you and I talk about or have talked about. I can't remember what the other one is now. Climax, Shay. I can't remember the other one. Anyway, so I'm not sure, but that may be what's running, which I think would be really cool because I'd like to see one of those, doing their thing. Hi, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir. Anyway, good night, everybody. Have a great evening. And again, thanks for coming. Hit that button.